Page 112, Country Song. This is a nice piece. I like this. And we'll go over a few things on here. I'm going to start with the right hand. This is in the key of A flat major. Now in the previous pages they introduced you to the primary chords, and I'll leave it up to you to learn them. And it will help in both hands. The 1 chord, 4 chord, 5/7 chord. It will help you. Anyway, back to this piece in the right hand. At the beginning we got this little note, the B flat. I'm going to play the B flat with the E flat at the same time as along with the other notes. Very quickly, like so, and it's throughout the whole thing. I'm doing it the same way. They got a lot of parallel thirds. A parallel third, you can recognize them in the music because it's 2 notes on spaces next to each other or lines next to each other. You know those are thirds. A lot of that. Country music uses a lot of that. Second measure. It's a little awkward fingering. Do the best you can with it. Try and get it legato. And then going on. Watch I'm swinging the 8th notes. The 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and hopefully that's not throwing the rhythm too much, because look at the second measure of the second line. It's a 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Now the rhythm on most of this is going to be the same. Look at the last measure of the first line. It's a 1 and 2 and then this one. And between those two, that's most of it. That's if you can get that. Go down to the last line on page 112. It's here. Now here, 1 5, 2 5, and then it's the melody. That's what we want. And this 1 5 to 2 5, this is normal on crossing over the thumb like this. I would encourage you to get comfortable with that. Use it a lot if you can. And then on page 13, let's look at this rhythm. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and... Maybe I should do this with straight 8th notes. It's 1 and 2 and... 1 and 2 and... Remember there's a rest on 2, so you come in on and. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and... If you can get that rhythm, you've got it throughout this whole page pretty much. It's the same rhythm, different notes. So it's 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and... That's little note on the second line there, first measure, with the B flat. Watch their fingering, it's fine. The last note on the second line there, I like to use 3rd finger on that E flat because I need 4th finger on the next note. It's more comfortable for me to reach down with 3rd finger to prepare for the 4th finger than to use the third and then crunch up with the 4th. You go either way, it's up to you. And then at the end of the line, I should have pointed this out before because it happens up above. Look at the last measure of the first line here in the right hand. And then the last 3 notes. They're saying 1, 2, 3. It's okay. I prefer on the last 3 notes to do a 1, 2, 4 and do a 3, 5, 2, 4. Because I'm not moving around so much going on. I'm just going from here to here. Where you do it their way, you're going from here to here. Try that. You'll have to decide which way you like better, but I'm going to finger this 1, 2, 4, and then a 3, 5, in the first measure of the second line. 3, 5, 2, 4. And then in the third line at the end, you get the same thing. Now the last line on page 113, the second ending, we're here. Again, 1, 2, 4, 3, 3, 5, 2, 4, and then here. You got the pedal down, it's going to help you because we're here to here. Hold the A flat down as you play those. Left hand, broken chords. At the last note of the first measure there on 112, I'm going to use the fourth finger on that because on the next note I need the little finger on the D flat. And this fourth finger prepares me for that, so it's this. The last note of the second line I'm going to use fourth finger again because of the next note is an A flat. That's pretty much it. I tell you, the last measure on the page, 112, you have two voices going. The top voice is this, and the second voice is this. To rest, rest. So hold that half note down. Top of page 113, not bad. Lift up on the rest. On beat 4 in the left hand, lift up on it. Pedal's keeping the sound going. I don't know why they're doing. I'll talk about the pedal in a minute, but for the left hand, lift up on that. Rest, 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 etc. all the way through until you get to the bottom. The last line, again, two voices. There's a half note, got to hold that down while you're playing the eighth notes. Rest. They give you fourth finger, isn't that nice? And then the last measure, hold it down. And when I'm slowing down like this, I tend to even out the eighth notes. I don't swing them so much, so when we get to the end I may straighten those out a bit. So to give you an idea of this, you're here. These notes all at the same time. You're going to have to practice this moving the hands because you don't have any time. For the first measure you're here, you got to go up to here. And you end the measure here, and then you got to go back down. So this, practice the hand move. These hand positions, just get to where you can do them fairly quickly. I don't know that I like the pedal, but let's talk about what they're suggesting. At the beginning, I'm going to pedal after the, I don't want the pedal from the beginning because I'll catch all of this. That's too much. I want this fairly clean. So I'm not pedaling until after I play the A flat C in the right hand. And then I'm going to lift it up at the end of the measure. I don't know about the phrasing. You'll have to experiment. Do you like it separated between the two measures, or you want to play it like it's all one phrase? If it's all one phrase, then I'm going to lift the pedal up after I play the notes in the second measure. So it's this way. If I want them separate phrases, I'm going to lift the pedal up with the right hand before I go to the next measure. You'll have to decide which way you want to go. You can do it both, actually, because this is repeated. So one time you can do it one way, and when on the repeat, you do it the other way, because we like to change things when we repeat stuff. I don't want to repeat it and just do it all exactly the same way. Yeah. So it's up to you how you do it. And they're saying on the second measure to pedal the last couple of beats. I disagree. Why pedal that if you didn't pedal the first few beats? I wouldn't pedal this measure. If I'm going to pedal any at all, it'll only be the last beat, and that's to help me get to the next measure because I got to move my hands. Again, I'm going to pedal the last beat. It helps me to move my hands. And then at the bottom, we don't pedal any of this because it'll smear it. about pedaling that at the end. I don't know that this is necessary at the bottom of page 112 to pedal those last two. To me, I like it better without the pedal because it fits more in the style of what's coming up. When I play the C and the A flat, the half note tied to the eighth note at the end, I'm going to lift up before going on. It's like a different phrase, so they're not connected. So it's here. And they're showing pedaling over here on 113, and I don't like any of it. I prefer this to stay light, but you can experiment and see what you like. Then the fourth line down, the first ending there, half notes in the left hand, hold it down. Now we're going to repeat back to the beginning because there's no reverse repeat sign anywhere. And if you notice at the beginning on page 112, there's a note, second time 8 VA, and this note is all over the place on page 112. Every time you get this passage, they want that an octave higher, but only that, nothing else. And it's only the right hand. So when you repeat, now you're up here. Then the second measure, you're coming down, back. So now you got to practice the hand turn or the hand move from here to here, because we were doing here to here. Now it's an octave higher. Second line. At the bottom there's a note, second time 8 VA segue. This bit is called a segue. A segue is like a bridge. It connects things, it segues into something, it leads into something, and this is what this is. That's all that is. Now they're saying second time rather than here, go up here. And you're going to stay here for all of page 113 for the most part. You're playing the right hand an octave higher. So the second time around, you're up here. So you're here at the last measure of 112. The second ending there, you see an LOCO, loco, that means come back down to where it's written. The AVA goes away. So the first part is here, and then the eighth notes are down here. Now we're going to retard, and at the end, I'm going to smooth those eighth notes out. So the last couple of measures. Notes, they put the pedal down, I don't at the end. If you want the pedal down, you can. I don't see why, because you're dying away. And the only notes down are the A flats and the C, the three notes. That's it.